Hey, what's happening, gents? Matthew Bellman, Ryan Kostrowski here. This is the DFS 5-pack. So you've heard us recently on Mondays and Thursdays bring up one of our new show sponsors, Drafters. We'd kind of talked about them about a year ago. We're going to be working with them again closely. We're going to do a little one-on-one basketball draft today to give you guys a little flavor and feel of what the website is all about. And if you just kind of want to get on there with us and start drafting and having fun, there is a link to our Facebook group for the drafter stuff below. Go ahead and join it. At the top of the Facebook post, at the top of the Facebook group, there's a link to join. If you want to use it through us, that's great. And I'm just going to go in here right now and click on this invitation you sent me to join this contest.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's you can kind of, it's fun because you can create your own contests. And like I set one up for a couple of customers a few days ago. It was like a 3-game slate. So we went with 4 of us though. So like you really had to get down to the nitty-gritty, and it was Thursday because it was like the night when the Bucks were playing. I remember because I was like, "You're gonna have to like draft Pat Connaughton tonight."
Well, this is an interesting one because there's so much info waiting to be heard, waiting to be had. So I'm interested to see where you go, my friend.
All right. Well, you got the first overall pick, and I know where you're gonna end up.
Yeah, first overall pick is pretty easy. Can I start already or?
Click on that button up there that says "I'm ready. Let's draft." We can be ready to rock and roll. The website will populate and just create who goes first. So it's just a little luck of the draw. Yesterday I did a bunch of these drafts, and it was back and forth between people who were going Doncic or Nikola Jokic, 1 and 2. It was a close call between the two of them to who to draft. But at the end of the night, I think we know that the Doncic pickers definitely came out vastly ahead on this one.
Yeah, how about Doncic and LeBron last night? Pretty good combo.
Yeah, I had LeBron in like all the drafters drafts, but you really, that was a big one yesterday was drafting Doncic over Jokic if you had the 1 pick because, I think Doncic damn near doubled up Jokic.
Yeah, he was awesome. And Michael Porter was awesome for Denver. I'm going to take the easy number 1 pick here, Bradley Beal. He's going to play. He's the top player on the board. Easy peasy.
Right. So I like Cousins. I don't know if I would view him right here as the number 2 guy, but because he has power forward eligibility, I'll grab him there.
Interesting that you'll take him over Randall.
I like Cousins just as much, if not more than Randall tonight. I don't like Julius Randle at all. I'm actually debating between Randall and Donovan Mitchell right now in my mind.
But you think Cousins outscores both those guys?
I knew Cousins was going to be one of my 2 picks. I'm
Okay.
more debating between Randall and Mitchell right now.
Okay. Interesting that you just didn't take both Randall and Mitchell, but I get it, man. I love it.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it with the guard here, actually. And if you see as I went in there, you can choose which position you are taking because a lot of these guys are going to be combos. And part of the strategy on this website to me is going a little bit deeper down initially and figuring out which ones are deep, which positions are deeper, and pounding the ones that are weaker up top.
For sizzle, no doubt about that. For me, I am going to take Julius Randle. I just think he's.
I would have too. I was almost going to take him too.
Yeah, listen, he's still having such a monster year. So I got my power forward and my shooting guard locked up.
You heard you guys mention like all these drafts can be set up different ways. They have deep drafts and more shallow drafts. I personally prefer the deep ones because like in a 10-game slate, if you're drafting one-on-one with somebody and you're just drafting 5 studs all the way across, it doesn't seem to be a lot of thought process to that.
Agreed. You know what position is weak here? Small forward. So I'm going to take Victor Oladipo.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the floor of Rudy Gobert at the center position. And now it starts to get a little bit tricky. I'm going to play the upside for Trae Young right here and just bank on him playing right here. I just think his upside is significantly higher than some of these other plays. And as far as auto swap goes, if you forget on this website, they will sub in the next best available player beforehand, the next best guy on their projections. You can set your own projections too if you want to.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. All right, I'm going to kind of play the other way, and this is tough.
It's a lot up in the air today. I wouldn't want to play for heavy money early in the day, but I also I encourage people, do a smaller dollar draft before you get into your bigger ones.
I agree. It took Capella for me because I took too long, which is fine. I was thinking about him anyways because I didn't want you to have all that upside. And then speaking of upside, I'm also going to take Westbrook here.
Yep, I would have done the same. All right. Well, I'll take my forward right here in Serge Ibaka. And then John Wall. I'll definitely go here and fill up my guard spot.
I was definitely about to take John Wall, so kind of upset.
Yeah, I knew you would.
But it's okay. I'll definitely have my exposure on DK. All right, so then I'm going to go to two guys that I like a lot. If Capella and Trae Young are out, and kind of still hope that happens, and I'll take Capella out, I'm going to take John Collins. And what's my flex? I'm going to take DeAndre Hunter.
So I don't know about you, and I think we're a little bit different here. After years and years of playing on DraftKings, I still love doing the evaluation for our videos. But at the end of the day, I'm usually burnt out and don't love poring over my lineups the way that I used to when I was younger. I still love doing drafters drafts every day, though. I think they're a lot of fun, and I encourage guys to give them a look. I mean, they're quick. And one of my favorite parts about playing on drafters is simply the fact that not everybody has the same picks. You know what I mean? Like, you're not sharing all these chalk guys. If you have a good feeling about somebody like, say, LeBron last night, and everybody else let him slip on this website last night, he kept falling, you can get him and be the only one with him.
For sure. No doubt about it. I love that point.
Yeah, it sucks when, like, you have Jokic because you think he's a crush play, but then, like, so does 90% of the field.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm good at guard. I need a forward. Gordon or Barrett? I'm going to go Gordon. That's a tough call to me. I got my next pick. I'm going to go with Clarkson, though.
I respect that.
I mean, I think all these guys here, there's good arguments for all of them.
I'm going to go Jerome Robinson.
Ooh.
And for flex, I am going to go Marcus Morris.
All right. I think all four of these guys up top have good reasons to pick them. I'm going to go, though, with a Luke Kennard night. I think it's going to be Luke. And he's not overpriced here like he is on DraftKings.
I'll say this. I really, really like the new format they have on here.
Yeah, it's you go back into draft again. Guys, there's a lot of different ways to play on this website. And I'm just going to head back out to the lobby for those of you who haven't been there and want to see why it's fun. One, the drafts are fun. You know, you can go into NBA. You click on this specific one. Clearly, we don't care about baseball right now. But they have things that are more like GPPs. And you're kind of curious, how does that work? Well, you got the $66 and the $3.30 one. So you draft with three other people, but then everybody's teams randomly get thrown in these GPPs. So, like, to get first place, there's still a little bit of a payoff at the end. You know, if you're playing in the $66 one. First place here, $768. Hey, that's a pretty nice payday.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So definitely multiple ways to skin the cat. I'm excited to be talking about drafters again and doing more of these with you.
Yeah, guys, and they're looking for more bigger money players, guys who can get in here, because every single day when I come in here to do my drafts and I dabble around with the 20s and the 10s, there are people sitting in these $500 ones, these $200 ones, guys you can go up and play heads up with. There is real money that you can win by playing that way. And I do enjoy that they have different kind of like drafts that you can do, and it's not just the same type of thing. Like right here, like I don't know if you played any of these NFL ones, but at the start of the playoffs, you got to just go through and pick them, but it was for the whole playoffs. So like with an early pick, I took Stephon Diggs, and I got all of his games combined because I figured he had at least 2, if not 3 games to play. And then I went Kelsey with the wraparound because he's so much better at tight end. I don't know. It's just a lot of different fun formats you can play on here, and we have a good time doing it.
That's really cool.
Have you ever played in a league like that before?
No.
So I played in one of these this guy ran. So it was like a fraternity buddy of mine in college. Knew I loved fantasy sports and got me involved in a guy doing drafts like this years ago. Now, since DFS has taken over my life, I haven't played the last 3 or 4 years, but it's super fun because you're playing the players, but also like what teams you're going to think advance. So like it kind of like a mix of both of them. It's really enjoyable.
The only thing that I've done that's like comparable to that is like the NCAA is stuff with the NCAA tournament. And I've done a couple NCAA tournament drafts where like you draft for the whole tournament, which is a lot of fun.
The only thing I was thinking as Tampa Bay beat my Green Bay Packers on Sunday was, hey, at least I get Tom Brady, and this all but guarantees that I win this thing this week on Drafters. Now, it's not big enough money that I didn't care about the Packers, but I was like, hey, this will basically solidify first place for me because I got Tom Brady, Travis Kelce, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who will be another week healthier. And he only has Tyreek Hill and Godwin, and I got the 16-point lead, so I should be good.
For sure.
And of course, this is the guy that beat me by a point last night. So I'm glad that I get to take his money. So to make it even worse, stat correction had him winning at the end of the games, then put me up above, so I thought I won, and then put me back down.
Oh, literally 1 point. That sucks with Simmons being so bad.
Yeah, and Damian Lillard, you were probably asleep by this point, as they were trying to come back at the end. He hit what looked like a 3, which would be worth an extra 1.5, but his foot was just barely on the line, so it was only a 2. I could have used that 1.5 right there.
For sure. I'll say this. It was interesting to see that on DK, Shy, Dame, and Cantor all had like 50 exactly.
Was it? Did it work out exactly that way? I didn't see that.
All between 50 and 51, like 50.25, 50.5, which is just crazy.
Well, I also think it's a side note for like Damian Lillard in general and why you have to want him in a close game, whether they're coming from behind or closing. Because like when they're closing and he gets the ball and then he hits like 6 or 7 late free throws, there's so much extra upside right there. Otherwise, I don't know of anybody in the NBA that when their team is down by like 10 with 2 minutes to go is like a bigger lock to hit his 3-pointers with like 9 guys on him than Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that point for sure.
Like there's nobody in the world I trust more to hit in like he's like 4 feet tall. He's like my height, so it's even more amazing to like shoot it over like 2 centers with like 90 feet of arc in it, but drain like 3-pointers in the last 2 minutes. Like that's just Dame.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That is just Dame.
So, all right, guys. The name of the website's Drafters. The link to the Facebook group is below. Just request to join. I'll approve you guys right away. We'll start getting more active and doing more drafts with people. When we got a bigger draft, we'll probably get some customers on here tomorrow. We're working on getting our Discord channel set up this week a little bit further. We'll have a drafters link on there. Just look forward to playing, and it's a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.